What's up everyone, Maximilian here, and today is going to be day one of about 5 days out of every week that I'm going to try to provide you all ranked games from either Street Fighter X, Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and many other fighting games and shooting games consistently throughout each week. And this week we're going to focus on Street Fighter X Tekken since it's been the topic of a lot of conversations. As usual, I'll be running my basic team, which is mostly Kazuya and Ken, and I haven't had much of a chance to learn any other new characters, so I'm just going to kind of roll with it. So what I'm going to give you guys is a little bit of a commentary for each one of these matches, but the next day, like day 2, 3, 4, and 5, should be live commentary of me playing the game live. And so let's get right into this. Juri just hit me with her anti-air, and Juri is ridiculously scary in this game. Almost to the point of which it's really hard to get in on her because she has these counters that can reflect fireballs and physical attacks, and she can get in really easily from those. And she's got a ground-based anti-air that she can jump cancel into a ton of damage. This chick is no joke. But I got a lot of damage on her, but once again, she hits me with that anti-air, and I'm in a big issue right now because Ken is riding low health, and just like that, once again, I think the only damage I ate throughout most of the match was consistent anti-airs, and just not respecting the fact that it's really good, and it's hard to jump in on this girl. But he's going really offensive at the start and gets some pretty solid damage and goes into a cross rush. He's using Hwoarang on the opposite end, and Hwoarang gets his basic air combo. So here we go. Ken and Hwoarang are going to square off here, and I'm using Ken's superior standing jab that also does a chain into his sweep, and his sweep has a lot of blocks done on it, but it's not exactly the most safe, but it puts him at a big distance. If you see right there, that's where I get a lot of the damage when I brought in Kazuya in the end here. Kazuya came in after a Shoryuken, an anti-air Shoryuken, and wow, look at Juri using that counter once again to get a ton of damage on Kazuya. The use of the EX might have been a little bit too much, and I'm just probably going to tag in Ken right here. But a lot of my damage comes from anti-air uppercuts like that one, or just generally uppercuts and tagging in Kazuya, because you can pretty much get, after like a jumping attack with Kaz when he comes in, a good 400 to 430 damage just off of one bar and off of something like that. So you can see how much ridiculous damage this does, especially with the fact of a super like this. It seems that just took off like nearly 70% of her health, so it's kind of crazy. But it's good, man. You got to realize things like anti-airs can lead to a ridiculous amount of damage if your character has a good anti-air. And Ken has a good one. His medium uppercut is definitely solid. But now I'm in a situation where I don't think it favors Kazuya at all. He's bringing in, oh, I barely blocked Hwoarang's overhead. Roll to the middle, and I just noticed the clock here, but I'm going to keep being offensive. I think I kind of like try to ignore the clock and just keep playing, and just let the round play out right here. So I think this victory is definitely going to be mine. That sweep might have actually given it to him, which would have been pretty funny. But here we go, final round. Juri and Ken are going to start this thing off. I just need to be more cautious and play a little bit more patiently as I jump in and hurricane kick. A lot of the times, like the hurricane kick jump in with Ken is an easy way to just create some offense, and it can be kind of hard to juggle you out of it. But he's got me currently after a ground bounce combo with Hwoarang, and Hwoarang completely stuffed my uppercut attempt to bring in Kazuya. That's what I like about Ken, is that he's got a really consistent uppercut that is long hitting, a lot of block stun, and gives you a big chance to bring in your next character. Low strong, low forward fireball uppercut, and Kazuya is back in just like that because I want Ken to recover some health. But here we go. Wow, Hwoarang got hit by a crouching medium punch, which leads into a ton of damage. And that is definitely not safe. I have a bad habit of doing low forward standing roundhouse with Ken, and that chain is definitely not what you want to be doing. I'm trying to be as cautious around Juri right here as possible, but she's got me in a wicked cross rush, and this is gonna miss. I have a chance to bring in Kazuya, and here we go, some pretty decent damage. Ooh, no, I did 3 attacks on the ground or during the juggle, so that's too much. You can't actually go into the super. Ooh, I got my double. Oh wow, I'm just crazy. It's crazy to see when Juri takes to the air after a counter. It's almost hard to follow. But Ken didn't take advantage of all the damage from the combo. Juri's on the offensive, but eats a crouching light kick, which is so good with Kazuya. It's really good, and it leads into an easy cross rush with Ken, and that takes the game. So that's a good example of how insane Juri is. But you want to see what's more insane? Check this game out. I remember this one happening because I had no idea what the F was going on. Trying to play safe against Zangief at the start here. Throw some fireballs, hope he soaks them. But he's currently green-handing the few, which doesn't take any damage away from him. But he's using that standing light kick, which is an amazing method of getting into your cross rush string. And there we go. If you block a close fireball against either Ryu or Ken, it is not safe at all. Get my uppercut and once again do too many juggles on the bottom. But I've got the bear in the corner right now. But he easily rolls out, goes into stance, and unfortunately I have no clue what he is doing from stance. Yeah, he's got the stance where he holds a pose on the ground. Whenever he did that, I wanted to jump in and hit him, but every time I did, I got attacked. But I take the first round, so we'll see how this one goes. His Zangief didn't get too much time in the ring. I think he got a cross rush early on, but we'll see what happens. Wow, this guy's got over 11,000 BP. This is crazy. So I'm probably going to try to play a little bit more conservative against Zangief here. But I'm able to get in Kazuya. I'm pretty sure this guy is going to know to block Kazuya's double kick Tekken chain. And once again, off of I think I did crouching light kick and then crouching medium kick. And that's not a safe chain with Kazuya. It's best just to go into his sweep and finish it off. But I'm fishing out low forward into quarter circle back punch. And check it out. That's an anti-air, I guess, with Kuma. So I really don't know what's going on when he's getting in on me now. And it seems like his jabs have a ton of block stun. Like, I'm only trying to get away and create an offensive, but it's so weird to see the bear just going in like crazy. Gets a ground bounce combo, kicks him in the nuts, and Kuma takes the round. Some pretty impressive play here, especially with a character that is hardly seen and is like widely known as a joke character. But Zangief once again squares off with Ken. Maybe this time we'll get a little bit of spacing that I want to do against this guy, because the fireball game can be difficult to block. But I get a chance to get an uppercut, maybe for some damage. But it brings in Kazuya safely, and he does green hand straight into super. This is going to do a pretty solid amount of damage against Kazuya. Yep, about 25%, so that's not bad at all. Trying to play safe and get out of here and create some spacing. Wow, he goes into the EX grab and scoops me into the middle of the map, calls the roll, and once again I'm stuck at a very bad position here. Look how much damage it's doing. Oh man. Oh, but Ken comes in. So now that Ken's back in, we can hopefully recover some of the health with Kazuya, but that did not go well. I think Kazuya kind of eats up, I think Zangief kind of eats up Kazuya, and there's a terrible uppercut. I think I'm just frustrated by what's going on right now, and I'm trying to create any damage at all because it's so weird seeing Kuma go at it like this. If you're seeing the counter thing on the side, I'm getting countered like crazy a lot of the time. And check that out, anti-air into a multiple hit combo. Yeah, man, that was an EX uppercut right there, and his beat it cleanly. Or that was probably a regular uppercut, but nonetheless, Kuma's insane, dude. That's some pretty awesome stuff, and stuff I've never seen before. So, shoutouts to this player. That was some extremely impressive stuff with a character that not a lot of people have seen. So here we go. Last game, I'm going up against a Hwoarang and a Hugo. Hwoarang's one of those characters that can be very tricky. You got to be really careful with his overheads, and a lot of the success of Hwoarang players right now are after his overhead mix-up. But as long as you know where in his chains that takes place, you should be okay. But playing a little bit of spacing here, Hwoarang doesn't have much to get through, and he goes for a pretty reckless jump in or dash in uppercut, and I'm able to cross rush in Kazuya. And counter hit in the corner with Kazuya, or counter hit in the air with Kazuya leads to a lot of damage. But his Hwoarang's uppercut is so good, it's kind of crazy. I think it's definitely one of the better ones in the game because it's easy to follow up for a combo. I'd argue Ken has one of the best uppercuts for combo usage because it gives you the most time to react. Sit there and hold my pose for a sec, but gives me a very brief window to get in Kazuya. A lot of the times, Ken's uppercut in my usage is just used to bring in Kaz, and there's another example right there. I don't want to keep Ken in. Unfortunately, I went for the combo, and I lost a lot of Ken's sub health, so you got to be careful with that stuff. But Hugo's got me in the corner, and I'm not rolling out. Ooh, I did get a chance to roll out, but I missed the combo here. It's so bad, but that is definitely not safe, and I'm going to get this round. So, yeah, Horing's a character that you got to be really careful. His in-close tactics revolve around the overhead mix-up that leads into pretty good combo damage, and his uppercut is amazing. I think it lowers his hitbox and has a great active hitbox on it as well. So you got to be really careful about it. Make the offense, jump in with the light kick, going for the sweep combo, but I unfortunately don't take advantage of the knockdown. That was probably not a good idea. Horing definitely taking advantage of the powerful uppercut, and he's falling for a couple of sweep mix-ups, and this should do a pretty decent amount of damage. Oh, I went for the reset, but I unfortunately missed the combo afterwards. That sucks. A lot of random missed uppercuts right here. I'm just trying to find a moment to bring in Kazuya, and he's being a little impatient. I probably would have brought in the character off of the fireball, but he gets a safe moment, and now Hugo's in safely with a ton of health, and it's going to be a hard time for me. But there we go. There's a good example of what one anti-air uppercut can do against a character like Hugo. It took off over like 1/4 of his health, so that's one of the ways to do damage in this game. And wow, that backdash ate all of the active frames from that move, and this just might miss because it's the corner. No, it doesn't. Surprisingly goes into the full damage, but he hardly takes any because Hugo has got his defense gem on, and this should just about do it. I don't think there's much else you can get off of that cross rush, so that's going to just about do it for day 1 of the week of Street Fighter Cross Tekken and the ranked games. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to have some live ranked games with some live commentary. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.